Bottom line here, gentlemen, is it's time for us to evolve. Go from a Pikachu to a Raichu. Sure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first edition of the Stormcast. I am the host, the Stormer, accompanied by my loyal friend and co host, Dr. Golden. Some of the topics we will be touching today are about the Expose an Evil page, some future plans, and pretty much whatever else comes to mind while we're doing this. So let's let you have a few words. Introduce yourself, Dr. Golden.
Hey, I'm Dr. Golden Media, drgoldenmedia.com, and welcome to the first edition of the Stormcast. Like you said, this is our very first podcast, and we're going to talk about some evil fellas, like to prey on some children, we're going to have a seat and be like, hey fella, we saw your transcripts. We seen you've been talking to 13-year-olds. And be like, oh no, that wasn't me. And we were like, yeah, it was. So yeah, we're gonna talk about a lot.
There's a lot of fucking so far on our Instagram page, which you can find the link in the description. We busted how many people there? Let me go check. We've got 22 posts on there so far, which is pretty good because we've only been doing this for a little over a month, and we're just pretty much starting out. This is just the beginning, and we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to get better as time goes on. So, but some good stuff is coming up too. Eventually, what my plans are is once I can get more people running the media side of it there, I can get out there in the field and start getting some real good videos, some like Chris Hansen type shit going on. But with a little bit of a twist. We're not going to be as nice as Chris Hansen, of course, but we'll do it. We'll be unique. Believe me.
No, we can't just be like, hey buddy, you want a soda? Then get some cops to tackle him.
I'm thinking about dressing up in some costumes just to make it even more humiliating for the fuckers.
Dress up as a clown. A clown with a chainsaw.
Yeah. Well, first things first, for sure I'm going to be wearing the cape, That's got to be a guaranteed. 100% guaranteed. But there's going to be times I was thinking about dressing up like a nun for one of them, dressing up like Jesus for another one. You know what I mean? Like I want to make it entertaining but serious at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we should have somebody dressed up as oh never mind, I can't say it on YouTube. I can't say his name on YouTube.
I know who you mean. That there would have to be a special episode for fucking Telegram only.
Yeah, maybe Gumroad. We can start a Gumroad for exclusives.
But yeah, we got a lot of future plans coming up here. Me and the team. I've got. I don't know if I should say their names. Well, we got CL9WN as one of the admins. A good friend of mine named Madison. She's another one of my admins, and of course Dr. Golden here. They're the ones helping me run the Instagram page because it gets to be a bit much there. One person, like, people send me stuff every day that they want me to post, and sometimes it's legit and sometimes it's just bullshit. Like a guy said I don't even know how to. I remember one time there was this girl sending me something about this guy, and I was like, all right, well, if he's actually a predator, well, send me the proof and stuff. And the proof she sent me was just the guy like calling her a bitch and all this. Like, just because you have a personal vendetta against somebody doesn't mean that they're post worthy. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. That there gives us a bad look. First of all, if I was to go posting every little thing people send, but for the most part, we've got everything down pat. We got information, backstories, everything like that. So we're just, like I said, we're still just starting out with this here. We're trying to grow it as big as possible, and I hope that everybody stays patient and stays tuned for it, because believe me when I say big things are just right over the horizon.
Yeah, man, I don't know, we should probably get into all kinds of things, Nah, I probably shouldn't go into the deep stuff tonight. But I don't
Yeah,
want to just talk about pedophiles all night. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, for real. I'll give you an example. There was one guy. I'm not gonna name drop him on the podcast, but he's a real creeper down in this town, and he ended up getting the police involved after me because he just, I don't know. The police never did anything. They told me to forward my information to them actually, and I ended up doing so. I don't know if anything came out of it, but I don't think so because the police protect people like that. Believe it or not, people like the fucking lowest of the low are the ones that the police protect. Meanwhile, people like me, Dr. Golden, people who are like support my cause, those are public enemy number one for some reason. Or I shouldn't
Yeah,
say
we on
public
the
enemy.
list. Our names are touching on the list.
Yeah, exactly. They I don't understand what it is with the police and trying to protect people like that. You know what I mean?
I know what
And
it
it
is.
seemed like that's been a thing for quite a while now too, because I
Yeah, it's been
so
like this
far.
for centuries. It's because there is a war on heaven. So evil will be protected and good will not.
I agree with you 100%. That's definitely, I can't say it any better than that. That's
It's
definitely what
called
it seems
Nimrod
like.
system.
Because yeah, well, the system's broken, and I think anybody with a brain can agree to that one. The system's broken. It's been broken for a long time, and until people actually stand up and do something about it, till the people want change, it's not going to change anytime soon. You know what I mean? Like the closest we had to changing the system in Canada was what the trucker convoy 2 or 3 years ago. But even then, they were just a bunch of pansies on the hill screaming peace and love and peace. You'd swear to God they were liberals. You know what I mean? They
Yeah. With the
it
outside
was
world, nothing ever
ridiculous.
gets better. Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good. But apparently, I'll tell you one fun fact about that. Apparently, there was over 1 million people on the hill at one point during the protests for against COVID or whatever the hell it was. That's enough people to overthrow a government. And right now, Canada. I mean, you're not from Canada, but I can tell you one thing: Canada is it's under left wing communism. You may as well say like we're losing our rights. We don't have the right to bear arms. We don't have. We're losing our rights completely. Our freedom of speech. Canada technically does not have freedom of speech anymore. Trudeau's changed those laws, and the whole time, if those truckers or whatever the conservacucks as I like to call them, if they had half of a brain, they would have done a revolution right then and there. They would have overthrown the government
Yeah,
because
nobody has the balls.
over 1 million people on the hill. That's definitely enough for something to
Definitely.
happen, but they didn't.
But a lot of these protests are not even real. A lot of them are like controlled. Just like, the cities burning down a few years ago. A lot of those were instigated by feds. Same with that whole insurrection thing. That was a big Fed thing. It wasn't like a real, it was all set up.
Yeah, I believe you there. That definitely makes 100% sense to me. I mean, just
I don't
look
think
at it.
protests would ever work in uh in any condition ever. I don't
I
think they
don't
ever
think they
have.
will. The only way to get real change done is if people take it by force. That's the only way. Standing on the side of the fucking road with a goddamn sign in your hand saying, "Oh, do this and do that." The government need. Nobody's gonna change their ways over you and your little family, your friends standing on the side of the road with a sign. You know what I mean? The politicians would drive by those protests and just sit there and be like, "Look at this! What a joke! They think we're gonna change for them. They don't
Well,
care
how are
about
you
us.
going to
They
go
never
after
have."
the machine that that owns everything? The machine this world is. It's all connected to itself. And to go after it is basically committing suicide.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, there's so much. There's so much things there that I'm not gonna lie. I could bring up and we could talk about, but for our first edition, for our first episode, we're just gonna kind of, you know what I mean, keep things a little bit
Keep it
in
light.
tune for now, and then later on episodes we'll get deep down into all this stuff, conspiracies, you name it, everything.
Hell yeah, I'm
But
down
yeah,
for it.
but right now I kind of want to focus a little bit on what do you call it there, on the Instagram page, and like what we're doing on there. It's not just Instagram too. We got it on Telegram. I'm going to start building it on Facebook as well. Like this is going to be a multi-platform. Uh, how would I say this? Community organization? What would we call this?
Um, I don't know. It's your platform or business or whatever.
I wouldn't call it a
Is it a
business
movement?
because we're not in it for the money. We're in it to spread awareness. We're in it to expose these creeps. You know what I mean? We're
I
doing it
guess we
to
could call it a
expose
movement.
evil, as the page is named. I'd call it a movement, if anything.
Yeah.
Movement slash community is what I'd call it.
Hey,
Because
off
that,
topic.
personally, to me, that's what makes the most sense.
It's probably bad for off topic, but who's that guy who he died in his helicopter? You heard about that? That Iranian dude? Iranian president?
The Iranian president.
Yeah, he
I
made
I
like a
seen
deal
something
with
about that
Russia
there.
or something
I
about
seen
like
something about that
currency.
on YouTube. I never watched the video though, so I don't know too much about that. But what happened with that? Do you know?
So apparently Iran and Russia were working on this like a currency project, and I'm probably butchering this because I really have no idea. But the Iranian's president helicopter mysteriously crashed. So I think they got him. That's my opinion.
Well, I'd say so too. If that's what's been going on, that's definitely what happened. I mean, they take out anybody who gives a slight chance of breaking from this shitty global economic crunch that everybody has on us. So
Yeah, man.
don't you
You ever
know?
heard of
Don't you notice that once people start trying to make that, like for example, there's one guy we can't say because of YouTube, but let's just say one thing. He took his country after World War I and made it the biggest powerhouse in the whole world in just a span of a few years. And he's the most hated man in human history for no reason, realistically, because the winners write the history. That's what they want us to know. And
Yeah, I don't believe in
almost
any of
every,
history.
I mean, look at Gaddafi as well. Look at all these people who've tried to break away from the banking systems. They tried to do good for their nations, their continents. Next thing you know, they're labeled as domestic terrorists, and they're labeled as these horrible people. But when you look behind the scenes, what these people were actually trying to do for their own, you'd sit there and be like, "Holy shit, this guy's actually a saint!" Like this
Yeah,
guy was
half these
trying to do
people might
good.
not even exist. But the thing with history, some of it's fake, then all of it's fake.
Yeah, I know. You got. I don't know. Like the way I look at it is what they teach you in the schools, what they teach us, and who they teach us to hate. Those are obviously are not the ones to hate. You know what I mean?
Well, schools are just government institutions, government facilities, you know?
And another thing I've always thought is if it's illegal to talk about, that usually means it's the truth.
Yeah, if I had kids, man, I'd rather die than send them to school. I'd be starting a
I'd
five
rather
family homeschool
homeschool them, but
system.
even then homeschooling though, they still, like in Canada, even in Canada they got the homeschooling system so corrupt that you have to make them learn a certain course there. You know what I mean? You can't just teach them whatever. You got to teach them what the government wants them to be taught, even if you are homeschooling them.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that's
they
too
won't get their
far.
credentials.
I'm glad I'm not in Canada. I'm glad I'm here in South Africa.
There's a lot of messed up things going on. But no, I never heard about the I seen something about the Iranian president there on what do you call it, on YouTube. I never watched the video. I'm not gonna lie. At first, when I seen seen the caption, I misread it, and I thought that he shot down a helicopter. I thought it was them that shot down a helicopter or something. I didn't really, you know what I mean. I wasn't paying much attention to it.
Oh man, I think that cat's dead. I think they blew him away. Or maybe it's an AI generated AI generated thing. I don't know if there's footage, but like JFK, JFK took 10 years for that footage to come out. It was probably AI generated. If they had that type of technology back then, we wouldn't know.
I never I never knew it took that long for the footage to come out for the JFK thing.
Yeah, it came out in 1971, so I guess 8 years. But yeah, and his wife was a man. You ever seen the Adam's apple?
No, I never did, but so was Barack Obama's.
Yeah, Big Mike. Hey, you want to hear
Big
something real
Mike, yeah.
crazy? So
Huh.
was Martha Washington. Martha
I don't
Washington
know.
was a man. If she
It
existed
wouldn't
or he
surprise me
existed.
more.
George Washington probably never even existed. Who knows?
It makes you wonder. A lot of these people that they shove in our faces, if they're even real people, or if they're clones, or what they are. Who knows? And I'm not gonna lie. In today's twisted and messed up world, you never know what's real and what's fake, or who's real or who's fake. You know what I mean? Like you always got to stay cautious about that. And I find when people close their minds and they just eat everything that the system tells them, that's when you run into problems. I mean, isn't there some states in the United States trying to lower the age of consent to like 12 or 14 or some craziness like that?
Not in the United States. I believe there used to be Middle Eastern countries like that, but nah, if anything in the U.S., they'd probably try to make them higher.
I thought it was. I
They're
thought it
trying to make
was.
it 30 or something.
I heard California, if I'm correct, was trying
Okay,
to
that
lower
makes
the.
sense. California, I could see them doing some stuff like that.
Because what I've heard is that California is trying to lower the age of consent to whatever it is now, down to 12 or 13 years old or something crazy like that, which is insane. If you ask me personally, that's absolutely insane.
Well, we all know who lives in California. Let's
Oh
just call
yeah,
them Brazilians. The Brazilians live in California.
fucking. Then I'm pretty sure. Well, did you know that Trudeau made it legal in this country? Like he made bestiality legal. I'm pretty sure that's what I've heard.
Well, he did. I mean, these people, they probably don't even have reproductive organs. They're probably test tube freaks. Probably born out of test tubes. Who knows? Trudeau probably doesn't even have a dick.
Probably not. But I remember a couple years ago. This might not even be true, but I've looked it up and I've seen some things there. Some people on Reddit and everything else saying there that it was true. That Trudeau passed a bill that it's legal now in Canada to do sexual things with your animal,
Is that
which
why
is
the
what.
whole white girls fuck dogs problem became a thing? Remember that?
Yeah. Oh man, I remember that shit on Telegram a couple years ago. Holy fuck.
Yeah, now it's like it's a meme. I don't really understand it, but it's like white girls fuck bears now or something like
Oh
that.
my God, don't even
You
get me
seen that?
started on the man or the bear thing. You know what? Now that we're on that, I'd like to say something about it. The man and the bear thing, any woman who sits there and openly says, I'd rather be with a bear in the woods, you deserve to be in the woods with a fucking bear. You deserve it. Like, I'm
I
not
love
trying
it
to say,
actually. I think it's hilarious.
like, I'm not trying to say that all men are perfect or whatnot, because trust me, there is some crazy men. But when it comes down to a bear or a man in the woods, chances are that bear is not gonna, it's gonna tear you apart. I mean, they've done it hundreds of thousands of times. I mean, there's a reason why they're one of the biggest predators in the fucking world, because they don't look at a woman and say, "Oh, that's a woman. I'm not gonna harm her." No, they look at you, and if they're hungry enough, they're gonna look at you and say, "Oh, Meals on Wheels. Here we go." That's what like. And then you get these women online saying, "I'd shoot the bear any day," and then they post pictures of fucking bear cubs. It's like, man,
Yeah, man. You know how
Jesus.
I'm a wigger?
yeah.
You know how I'm a wigger?
Yeah.
So I posted a post with a girl sitting next to a bear on a train, um, and the other person or the other lady had a man right next to her, and the girl in the back had a bear. And I said, I'm aware or something. Like I'm not really a bear, but like I I behave like a were. That bear is me. Yeah, it's like a wigger, but it's a bear.
Yeah,
A were.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That whole debate online though just drives me fucking insane. A bear in the woods or a man in the woods, who gives a fuck? Shouldn't your main objective to be get the hell out of the woods? Doesn't matter who you're in there with.
Well, I don't know, man. Bears are tall, dark, and handsome. You know, they're unemployed. They're violent. They're a lot like me, in a way. They're a
You
lot
gotta
like
love the
us,
bear.
actually.
You gotta love the bear. Now, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I do love bears because I simply love nature. But fuck that whole debate. I'm always late to the party when it comes to things like that. Like I've seen like a month later. That's when I've just started seeing it. Just probably a week ago, actually, is when I first seen it for the first time, the man and the bear thing. But then now that I've seen it once, it's all I see, memes about it. And then when I actually genuinely look through some of the comments, like for example on Facebook, and it's all the women who post this, the women who choose the bear all look the exact fucking same. They got half a head shaved on. Their hair is every color of the fucking rainbow. Oh my god, you get what I'm trying to say here. They look like
Wait,
the
it's not
exact
the
type of
hot AI
people who would say
generated
some
girls?
ridiculous bullshit like that.
I thought it was some hot AI girls on Twitter.
It wouldn't surprise me either. Fake fucking women. I find all these stupid debates to make men look bad. And don't get me wrong, trust me, there is bad men out there, but we're living in a day where it goes both fucking ways. It's always went both ways. Like there's shit men and there's shit women, but most of the time it's okay to shit on a man. It's okay to put a man
Definitely.
down, but as soon as a man says anything about a woman, whether it be the truth or not, they can lose their account, they can lose everything, they can be labeled as this, that, and the other. It's a sick world out there, man.
For sure. And you know, the whole 19th Amendment was to trick women to vote for their own extinction. If it keeps going the things the way are going, women are not going to even exist in 30, 40 years or, in our lifetime.
They say that about men. They say that men are going extinct slowly.
Nope, it's women. And women voted for this men created the 19th Amendment. It's not really people, it's demons who created the 19th Amendment, but men were naive enough to let it happen. And women fell for it, of course, which I don't entirely blame them for. And now in the future, they'll suffer the consequences of extinction, unfortunately. That's why the transgender thing is so big, because replacement of women and trying to, uh, can I say fagotize everybody? Probably not. I'm gonna leave it in though. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
We're not really trying to make money. We're just trying to put out a thing.
exactly. Not only that, there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that. Like we're not saying it as a hateful way. We're just trying. You know what I mean? We're just. But anyways, getting back to that, I find it's funny. Like I don't know. Now I notice now though women are kind of standing up for that. Like the transgenders and women's sports and all that. They're kind of like going against it because they're just getting demolished by some mediocre male athlete. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
think about all the
like for example, some guy who wouldn't even make the top 500 in sprinting is now winning gold medals in fucking women's sports or powerlifting or everything else. It's like this guy before he got the surgery or whatever, he wasn't even cracking the top 50, let alone top 10. Now he's number one. He's the number one champion or whatever. Like, and the thing is, I don't say this to be a hateful person because like I have friends of, you know what I mean? I have friends of every race, every sexuality, every whatever you want to call it. But that doesn't mean that I necessarily agree with everything. But you know what I mean?
yeah, man. I'm friends with everybody except Indian people.
Oh God. Well, over here in Canada, they're taking over completely, 100%.
Shit.
Like even in my small town, they're taking all the jobs, 100%. Like They basically run the Tim Hortons down here. They run the McDonald's. They run the fucking gas stations. And when you take those jobs away from people, where do the 16, 17, 18-year-olds even get employment? Usually their first jobs are at like gas stations, fast food restaurants, you know what I mean? Things like that. But no, they can't even get no jobs because it's all taken by the Indian people. And
Indians are the real AI. They're the real artificial intelligence because they're the tech support scammers, and they're taking all the jobs in Canada. So they're the real AI problem everybody's worried about. So when the news
they're buying all the
talks
property.
when the news talks about AI taking your job, ruining your future, AI is just a code for Indians.
That would make sense to me. I mean, they're taking realistically, like I've met really good Indian people, but fuck, they're taking all the jobs, they're buying up all the properties. And when I used to work at when I worked at a warehouse out in Toronto, I remember one time I asked the guy, because I was like the only white guy who worked there, and they would always bitch at me because I was quote unquote working too fast for them. Literally, the job was putting oversized packages on a conveyor belt and pushing them so the dude could scan them. And I would have that conveyor belt like rock solid full of stuff, and the dude's just standing there. He's like, "No, no, you need to slow down." I'm like, "Why do I need to slow down? I'm here for another 6, 7 hours. I got to go fast. I got to get this done quick." But they don't think that way. They just, you know what I mean? They're on the clock. They're getting paid by the hour. They're just sitting there talking their language, laughing, whatever. And then there was another time I worked at the same warehouse too, by the way. There was literally a sign in the warehouse floor that said "Speak English only," so everybody can understand you. And there's these, they were talking, what's their language called? Punjab, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I don't know what their language is called either, but they were speaking that language. And I went up to them and I called them out. I was like, "Read the fucking sign right over there. Read the sign. It says English only." And then they were like, "Oh, well, that's none of your business what we're speaking." I was like, "It's literally the rules of this place. You could be talking shit about me for all I know. You're looking at me laughing, speaking a different language, so why don't you follow the rules and speak English?" And you know what these guys did? They went to the supervisor and they told on me. And the supervisor comes up to me and he was like, "Oh, well, you can't be promoting hate in here and stop disrespecting their culture, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "I'm not disrespecting their culture. I'm respecting the company's rules written on the board 10 feet away from you."
Yeah, it's dumb,
Like,
man.
when it comes to this, I can go on and on. And I remember there was another time that I went to the gas station and I was paying with, I was buying a pack of cigarettes with change. Like, obviously, I don't know, you guys got change in the States, like coins?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was
Yes, we got
buying
it.
cigarettes with change, right? So I had a lot of it. And then this Indian woman says, "Oh no, we don't accept this. We don't accept this." It's like, excuse me. This is
You're in my
currency.
country.
This is currency in my country. I don't care if it takes you 25 minutes to count this shit. This is a currency, and until they ban the cash and change, you're going to take this. She put up a fight with me for like 5 minutes, and I just stood my ground. I was like, "Listen, I'm not leaving until I get my cigarettes, and you take this shit because I need these smokes. I haven't had one all morning, and this is currency right here. This is money, and in this country here, you were told to accept the money that's given to you. Just because
She's
you
just trying
don't
to
want to
get you
count it
to.
doesn't mean that you get the free pass to fucking tell me, 'Oh no, we don't take that.' No, you do take it.
No, she's
It's
the hero of the
currency."
situation because she was trying to get you to quit smoking, and you didn't even realize it.
Maybe she was an angel in disguise, and I'm just talking shit about her.
Yeah, and you're like, this fucking Indian bitch, she won't, give me my cigarettes. And then she's like, God, I'm trying. I'm trying.
Meanwhile, she's just trying to save me.
Yeah, I'm trying to heal this kid.
Fuck. No, but like I don't hate them. Like
Me
I
neither.
don't
I
hate
love
them,
what
but
y'all my Habibis. We don't hate
yeah, like
nobody.
like I don't hate them. Like we're not promoting hate on any of this. This is just opinions. We're throwing things out here. I just want to
I'm
make
mostly
that
joking
clear.
around, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. But like when it does come to the Indians, I'm 100% honest when I say they're taking the jobs. They're buying up all the properties. And another thing I found funny is we were working a warehouse job, and I'm pretty sure the pay was like $18 an hour. And I was pulling up in there with a 1998 Honda fucking CRV half falling apart. And then I pull up in this parking lot and it's all like brand new BMWs and Audis and fucking, you know what I mean? Like Challengers and Chargers and all
Those
these nice
fellas probably
cars.
living with 9 or 10 people.
And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm working a shitty warehouse job. So I'm gonna start asking some of the people I'm working with what vehicle they're driving. So I did that one day. I was asking a couple of the Indian dudes. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. Like I was talking about deep down, I don't know shit about cars. I just know how to put keys in it and start it and go and gas it up. That's it." But anyways, I was talking to the guy. I was like, "Yeah, this, that, and the other about my car." And he's like, "Oh, what kind of car do you have?" And I told him I was like 1998 Honda CRV. It's nothing special, believe me. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, well, I got a." He told me it was like a 20. Like this is back in 2022, right when I worked there. He was like, "I got a 2021 fucking Mercedes something." And I was like, "Whoa, how long have you been in Canada for?" The dude literally tells me he's been in Canada for 4 months. 4 months,
It's
and he's already
crazy.
got these cars. I was like, "Oh shit, you must make a lot of money. How'd you get that?" And what he told me, what this guy told me, swear to God, he said there that the government there paid half of it off for him, and he got it on some kind of a lease or a loan or whatever. And I was like, "Oh well, that's crazy because I've been, a Canadian citizen for my whole life, and I can't even get a goddamn loan. But you guys can come in here after 3, 4 months and get a loan. That's crazy, don't you think?"
Yeah, man, that is crazy.
I don't know. Like
Oh my God, I
Canada's
lost my train of
fucked.
thought. I had something really funny to say. Damn it.
I hate when
You
that
sure that
happens.
happens?
I really hate when that happens.
Because I don't want to have like dead air on here, you know?
No, I hear you. I hear you. We'll get better at this as time goes on. Like I said, this
Yeah, I
is
haven't
just
done one in
the.
years.
Oh, but speaking of that, I mean, fuck. 4 years later, we're finally starting the podcast.
Oh yeah. So we've been talking about doing this since 2020 because I met it's cool if I call you uh I'll call you Justin.
Yeah, go for it. You
All
know me
right.
personally.
So I met Justin about 4 years ago, and we're always in these chats and stuff. And there's this. I remember there's like a controversy over this some OnlyFans chick or something that would that was like keep she kept causing problems and like threatening Justin, saying she's gonna like take him to court and stuff like that. She's like, these guys are harassing me, stuff like that. But yeah, I remember we are talking about starting a podcast, and then I think I hit him up 2 years later, maybe or maybe three. I don't know. It's like, you still want to do that podcast? He's like, yeah. But then I didn't hear from him for months, and now we're talking all the time. Now we got a podcast. So if there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. It took 4 years. It took a long time, but we're finally here.
These episodes might be 4 years apart. Episode 2 might be in 4 years. Might be in 2028. You never know.
Oh my god. Fuck. Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you. When you and I first started talking, I'm pretty sure I lived in Newfoundland, if I'm correct.
I have no idea. I don't even know
I
where that
think
is in Canada.
Well, when we first started talking, I'm 99% sure that's when I used to live in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yeah, man. I
I
was just here in South Africa.
oh god. Yeah, because I used to live in Newfoundland for 2 years. I lived in Toronto for 2 years, and I came back to my small little fucking town in Nova Scotia where I've been for fucking 2 years now. So,
Nice.
and out of all the places that I've been and I've lived, a part of me likes it where I'm at now because it's a small town and your name gets around quick, and you know what I mean. But at the same time, Newfoundland it was beautiful. I loved it out there. It was
It
such
probably
a great
sucks though
place.
if you know everybody, because then when there's drama about you, the whole town knows.
Exactly. Well,
So if
now
you
the
do
whole
something
town knows
bad,
me as the guy
everybody
as the
knows.
guy who exposes pedos and wears a cape. So
That's a good reputation to have. That's a good one
It
to
is.
start. You play it ahead, so if there's any drama in the future, they're like, wait, this guy used to expose pedophiles or exposes pedophiles. That's a good way to go.
It is. I mean, down here, it's very easy to fucking it's very easy to get a good reputation, a bad reputation. It's like a small, you know what I mean? It's not a shit town, but it's a small dead fucking town at the end of Nova Scotia, and
Those are the
like
best towns.
it is, they are. But this town has so much potential. But the thing that's holding Yarmouth back, I don't care. Anybody knows. Everybody already knows where I'm at. The thing that's holding Yarmouth back is is this wannabe thuggery. You know what I mean? You get these kids from the fucking suburbs, and you know they're acting like they're fucking from O Block. It's like, man, what are you guys doing? It's such a small town. There's no need for drama. There's no need for beef. There's no need for violence. People could all come together and get along. And you know, quite frankly, if these people would stop putting fucking wannabe gang shit first and actually come on hop on board with our fucking movement, we
It's
could
the
clear
rap
this town up
music.
of yeah, exactly. We could clear this fucking town up of the fucking predators, the creeps, the abusers all together. But no, they'd rather sit there and play fucking gang wars and think that they're gangsters and these great big thugs and then the next little tekkas or whatever. It's like, come on, grow up. Grow up. And a lot of the time these people don't grow up because some of the people that I went to high school with, I'm 23 now, by the way. Some of the people that I went to high school with are still doing the same fucking shit. 23, 24, 25 years old, going around thinking that they're fucking gangsters, their pants hanging down around their fucking ankles. It's like, come on, dude. Grow up.
Yeah, my Wigger phase, it just started out for me actually, and I just turned 50, and I'm finally going through the motions of being a Wigger.
And that's what I call most of them too. Like, and that's not a hate term. It's the truth. Even, you know what I mean. The funny thing is, it's mostly the fucking white kids who do that. It's mostly these fucking white kids who think that they're from O Block. It's like, bro, we're in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Fuck off. We're in a small hick town at the end of a dead end province. Chill out. There's no gangs down here. There's no fucking. There's no this. There's no that. What needs to happen is you need to fucking get your life together and grow the fuck up.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Because
It's
I'll
not
be
good to
honest
have
with you,
any. Oh,
probably
sorry.
2 months ago now, I got jumped by a bunch of wannabe gangsters. It was 15 versus 2. And the reason I got jumped, they can go around and say whatever they want. The reason I got jumped is because I was defending a guy that they were threatening. They were threatening one of my friends in the high school, saying that they're going to jump him, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to kill him, whatever. And I just told my buddy, I was like, listen, I'll take care of it for you. You know what I mean? Because for the most part, when I get involved in situations, people will back off and they won't really continue provoking it. But this time here, these guys, I don't know, they weren't. They just the reason they weren't intimidated is because they had the numbers. They had 15 people versus 2. So if I had
Yeah, they
15
never
people
fight one on
versus
one.
yeah, exactly. It
I
wasn't
mean,
it
it's kind
wasn't
of
one on
smart
one.
because then you can talk as much shit as possible. But then, in my opinion, it's not a very manly thing to do to be talking shit. Being a drama queen and then not fighting like a man. That's just my opinion. I'm different. I don't know.
100%. No, I agree with you there, man. It's actually, I personally think it's ridiculous. You get these fucking kids thinking, you know what I mean? These
Yeah.
wannabe gangsters, they think that they're all this, that, and a bag of chips because they run in packs. But you know, the funny thing is a pack of hyenas will still kill a lone lion. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And deep down, the lion is way stronger, way more powerful, the king of the fucking jungle. But even the most powerful lion will still lose to 15 hyenas. You know why? Because numbers do matter. The hyenas, they attack in packs because, like first of all, for them it's their instinct, but you know what I mean. It's a coward move in the human world, and that's what I don't even look at these people like hyenas. I look at them as fucking jackals, just a bunch of goddamn
Everybody
coyotes.
has like a tribalistic consciousness, except like ordinary white people. You know what I mean? They're not tribalistic anymore. They're like, nah, let the world be a melting pot. And they don't really question anything what they're being fed. And I
I
know there's
know it's
psyops on both
sickens
sides
me.
of that. I know being against it and then being for it at the same time, or multiple psyops. I get that. Um, but it seems like there's definitely a connection with I don't know if it's a plain out genocidal plan. I don't know if it's a holy war, like a biblical war. It might be both. There's a
I
lot that
think
goes
it's
around
both.
it.
I think it's definitely a little bit of both.
Yeah, I could see it.
Two evils playing part.
Yeah, I could see it. Maybe they were like, you ever heard the theory that the Irish were the real Israelites and Jesus was Irish? I buy it. I believe in that. But also, I think the biblical locations are probably all in the United States, or I guess at least North America. They're probably up in Canada too, but like, I'm pretty sure Jerusalem was probably in like New Jersey or New York. It might not make any sense to some people, but we'll get into those rabbit holes future episodes probably. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm always thinking about this shit.
I'm always saying I got about a million things running through my damn mind on a daily basis. But yeah, when it comes to future episodes, I think we should try to upload at least what 4 times a week, possibly, just to start out, get it really rolling,
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
get people some content to go through.
Yeah, we should probably just like do a bunch and then upload and do a bunch more.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I know one thing. I posted on my story on Instagram and on what do you call it there, Snapchat. If if we should start a podcast, and the votes were fucking way favoring, and yes, we should. And I'm glad that we're finally actually getting it done.
Yeah, well, you get a bigger audience than me, so I think it's just for no, no. I'm gonna get it someday though. I need to finish my cartoon. They just take forever. They're a pain in the ass a little bit, but we gotta finish my 22 episodes. My first one took a year, so hopefully it's take 22 years. Hopefully it takes more like 5 or something.
Oh yeah. Well, you're a lot better with the tech side of things than I ever have been.
Yeah, well, I've been doing that. I've been doing it a long time.
I mean, you seen last night on FaceTime how long it took me just to figure out how to make you an admin on the Instagram. Holy shit.
Oh, I never used that stuff before. Like I know how to do it on YouTube, but that's about it.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. I was getting mad. I was about ready to punch a hole right through the fucking computer.
Yeah, man, those Chromebooks, I guess they're okay for maybe for learning, but they're very, I don't know.
Well, my
Uh,
ex-girlfriend Ella told me to get the Chrome. Well, her and I, because I needed a laptop, right? And me and her were looking on what was it, Kijiji or Mark? We were looking online together last year sometime, and I was like, "Yeah, I really need a laptop. Help me look." And then she pointed out the fucking one I got inside there, the one that I use. She was like, "Oh my god, I have the same exact one. You should get this one. You should get this one." I was like, "Oh, really? So they're good?" She's like, "Yeah, they're really good." I was like, "Oh, okay, perfect." $300 for a brand. I don't even think it was 300. I think it might have been two or $300, regardless. She was like, "Yeah, that's a good price for it too." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll take your word for it, babe. I'll go pick it up." And I did, and now I fucking because I personally wanted it so I could play Warcraft, like not World of Warcraft, just regular fucking
oh,
vanilla Warcraft.
I love the real Warcraft.
Oh, I love that. That's my
You a
favorite.
Warcraft 2 guy? You like
Oh
Warcraft
yeah,
2?
yes,
Yeah, man. Man, there's some
that's
great
my
games that are
childhood
just
game.
like they disappeared.
Warcraft, StarCraft, Blizzard Entertainment back in the day before they sold out to Activision.
Became
They were
gay.
they were they were the shit. Like Blizzard used to make the best fucking
Battle.com.
games.
Was it Battle.com?
Battle.net.com, yes.
Battle.net.
Battle.net or Battle. I think it's BattleNet,
Battle.net. All right.
something like
It's
that.
been a long
But
time.
all
I
I know
forget.
is before Blizzard sold out to Activision, man, they were just goaded, dude. They were like the best.
Games were much better in the 90s, especially with CRT monitors. You know how now you need a high frame rate just to play basic games. Back then, you could if you had a CRT, the lower frame rates the more the graphics kind of synced in, and it was a better experience back in like the Sega Saturn games. Sega, like other than computers, Sega was like the best company for they had the best hardware, and Nintendo was actually became the worst after a period. And I love Nintendo, but I think gaming has got worse. Even though the graphics might be better, there's like a bunch of quality of life experiences that have gone away from games. Like as escapism, you wouldn't even want to be in them. It's like, am I gonna play hell right now? Why even bother with these new games?
Yeah, I agree with you there. One thing I wanted to happen, I wanted Red Dead Redemption 2 to get director's mode. Like, how GTA 5 has director's mode?
Yeah.
I wanted Red Dead Redemption to have the same thing so I could do whatever the hell I want in that game without getting 50 goddamn cops on horses chasing me every 2 seconds. But no, they never that game's been out now for pretty sure 2018 was the release date of it. 2018 or 2019, they still haven't even added that
2018.
feature.
Yeah, man, that game took many years. Took about took about I guess 8 or 9 years, but it's a I don't know. The first one's better in my opinion. I think the first one has I just I guess a better story. There's too many astroturfing in the new one. I'm worried about GTA 6 being a lot worse. I mean, I guess of course it is. Everybody's seen the trailer. It doesn't look too good. Graphically, it looks great, but I mean, might be fine for online, but I heard they cut out a bunch of whatever would be deemed offensive. I'm tired of all the nonsense. Might as well just read books or something, read some novels.
No, for real. I'm getting so sick and tired of everything being censored just because,
Gotta
this
read
is the
some
way I
C.S.
look at it.
Lewis.
This is the way I look at it. If things offend you that much that you want it canceled, why don't you just stay home and watch fucking Treehouse all day and go fuck off and let the real adults go out and have fun? Because you know what? You can't. It's at the point you can't even make a joke anymore without people
It's
sitting
not
there trying to
even,
be like, "I'm so sad."
you can't even think of it, even though it's real people falling for this. This isn't created by real people. This is created by a demonic plan to ruin joy because laughter. The devil hates laughter. He hates anything good. I said they. That's appropriate. But
But you know what I find funny about this is the ones who always get the most offended are white women over every like I had like I'm not gonna lie, I have black friends and I have friends that are black and will make like racist jokes back and forth or whatever. They don't give a shit. They find it funny. You know what I mean? Like not
yeah, it
everything
really
is meant to
depends.
be taken seriously. It's
Yeah,
always these.
usually if most of the like black people that get offended at racist jokes, usually they're dating a white person, I've noticed, which is really funny.
Yeah, I find it is funny, man. Like the you know what I mean? Like it's always the same type of people who get the most disappointed about little jokes. You know what I mean? They're always crying about. They're like, "Oh no, you can't say that." It's like Jesus Christ, man. Just chill out. Like not everything is meant to be taken so friggin' literally. Not everything is meant to make you cry and feel like you're like the world's coming to an end. Like sometimes
Well,
people
it's
genuinely just like to joke around.
yeah.
There
I
used to
will
be a thing
say
called dark humor,
it
but
is
now I
feminine
don't even know if
humor,
that's a thing anymore.
or not feminine humor. It's feminine nature to I guess be more sensitive than men are. That's a good thing. Not when it's weaponized. When you weaponize it and brainwash the masses, and even like, weaken the men, it all has to do with weakening the men, lowering the testosterone, putting soy additives in all the food, where the men can't even protect women and children around them. This is how, you get your kids and women, their brains all messed up, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I worded that goodly.
No, when I understand what you're trying to say,
Oh, it's not even
but
a brain
that's
transplant.
exactly how it is.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on with my phone right now?
I don't know, man.
There's a lot going
Should
on.
we end it here? We're at 50 minutes.
Yeah, I think this was good. I think this was good for the first episode.
All right. Well, it's been fun, y'all. We'll see you next time. If you don't come, we'll know. And you'll want us to know about that. Because we got your secrets. Peace.
Page that is going to be right here. You can screenshot this, copy this QR code, and then you'll be brought to the Instagram.
When I'm out there all alone and feeling far from home.
Okay, right now, go to drgoldenmedia.com. We have merch now. What? Are you stupid?
What do you think happens? What do you think happens when you're not subscribed to Dr. Golden Media? Dr. Golden on YouTube, drgoldenmedia.com. Win a PlayStation 5. If you get Sheffy up to a certain amount, you win a PlayStation 5. God of War Ragnarok Edition. Yeah, I bet y'all still probably on PS3. PS3. Y'all ain't even on PS5 yet. You better change that. Go to drgoldenmedia.com. Don't think you got the balls to buy merch. We got brand new merch coming to the brand new website. What do you think of that? Oh, we also got Unskits. Have you even seen Unskits? Greatest cartoon ever come out. You haven't even seen it yet.